Yeah, I know we've got, I think, Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. I think we are also got a little bit of athletics. I think there's like marathon going on right now, women's marathon. So we'll have a look, see what we can find. But yeah, it might just take me a few moments just to log in and have a look at what we've got on the schedule, but then we will be up to speed. Obviously, with SmackDown, we can easily jump over to Twitter, and that will tell us what's happening on WWE. I know when we looked, there wasn't loads that had been announced. We have got Sasha looks to follow up her big return. Roman Reigns and John Cena continue their march towards SummerSlam, and Finn Balor takes on Baron Corbin tonight. I don't think there's anything that's been announced other than that Finn Balor thing. What I have got is a tweet from Paul Heyman. There we go. Which is quite interesting, isn't it? Gabriel Steveson wins Olympic gold. Paul Heyman guy, Gabriel Steveson captures Olympic gold in the most dramatic fashion imaginable. And so there's a whole article there about Gabriel Steveson. And obviously we were watching that. If you don't know who that is, he's the next big thing. And he is looking like he's WWE bound, and he won Olympic gold in wrestling last night in a very dramatic fashion. He was actually losing with like a few seconds to go, and he managed to get the win. It really was dramatic. It's a story that I'm sure will be told many, 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 many times. We watched it live last night, and it really was one of those moments that kind of, you get goosebumps and whatever. So, yeah, it was really cool. It was really, really cool, and expect to see him in WWE very soon. I mean, I don't know if he'll sign like a permanent deal, but I know he is a big fan of WWE and wants to join WWE. But even if they can't get a deal sorted out like straight away, they'll have him on Raw. They'll bring him onto a show. Like, he's a big star. He's got, I'm sure you've heard of him. I'm sure he's been on the news over in America. Yeah, he is someone that I think they'll bring in at some point in the not too distant future. We've also got just weeks before their SmackDown tag title clash at SummerSlam. Dominic Mysterio goes one-on-one with Jey Uso. So an absolute dream match tonight. An absolute dream match. So many people going, when will Dominic face Jey Uso? Will it be this week? Will Vince finally give us what we want? And yes is the answer. Yes, it's tonight. It is tonight. Dominic Mysterio takes on Jey Uso. So we've got that as well. So not loads happening. I don't know if there's any news and rumours. If there is, we can talk about them. We are not going to shy away from them. I can tell you that much. So we will talk about them. We can talk about Olympics as well. We will not shy away from that either. But yeah, there's quite a few things going down in Olympics Town. So we've got high jump, women's high jump final, 10,000 meters, javelin, 15,000 meters for the men, the 4x400 for both men and women. So we've got all of that coming up. We've got the baseball final. That's coming up. We've got the basketball final. United States versus France. USA going for gold in the basketball. That's going to be big. Actually, that starts just 15 minutes. Well, half an hour, actually. 15 minutes after we end this stream. Half an hour after SmackDown. It will be the United States versus France in the gold medal basketball final. We've also got a British guy going for gold in the boxing, and we need him to win. because we're on 18 golds, and you can't trust those Australians. They will definitely find a gold or two from somewhere. So we need to up our golds a little bit. So yeah, cheeky. We need a cheeky gold or two today. Cheeky gold or two. I reckon we can obviously stand a great chance in the box-in for GB, but we'll see if there's anything else. Well, see if we can get that, and then see if there's anything else. But today, I just looked up hoping to see the medal table, and of course it's not there. But today is the day that USA might go past China. Might go past China today, because there's a lot of finals. USA are actually in a wrestling final. They're also in the basketball final. They're also in the water polo final. I mean, this could be USA's day. This could be USA's day. There might be a party in the USA. So, yeah, I am going to jump in the chat, say hello to people, and scribble down a few things so that we make sure that we don't miss anything. Netherlands, we need them to win some more golds, says Austin. Hello, Austin. I could actually stay up and watch the basketball, says sad Pittsburgh sports fan. Yeah, it's not long after SmackDown. So SmackDown finishes half an hour later. You've then got the USA going up against France. Am I right in saying they played France first in the Olympics and lost? I know that the USA lost their first game. So obviously I want USA to win. I want USA to win, and I want USA to beat China at the top of the league table. So I'm hoping that the USA can get that done today. But I'm also very focused on GB, making sure they can cement fourth. If we could finish fourth, that would be immense. And I love that word. Ted Cruz 2024, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Men's laser run for gold is today as well, says Dave Holland. Was it you, Dave, that told me that GB were like fourth in that at the moment? I mean, that was so much fun. We've got the equestrian jumping final as well. Apparently GB qualified 7th out of 8. So not brilliant, but you never know what will happen in the final. So there could be a medal. There could be medals for GB, because we could get a medal in the dive-in. We've got Tom Daly. So there could be something in the dive-in. There could be something in the equestrian. There could be a gold in the boxing. Who knows with that pentathlon thing as well. So, yeah, there's going to be medals, definitely. Opportunities. Well, there's definitely medals, because even if we lose the boxing, we get a silver. So there will definitely be at least one medal today for GB. But, yeah, there'll be loads of medals for USA, because you're in so many finals today. Even if you lose, you get silver, but you need them golds. You need to win these things. But, I mean, you should. USA versus Japan in baseball as well. So that's another opportunity for the USA. How are you doing today? I'm good, thank you, Zaher. I am still in the process of waking up a little bit. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to, you know what I mean, just get settled in. Literally opened my eyes 45 minutes ago, maybe not even that. In fact, definitely not even that. So still in the process of waking up. But feeling pretty good. And, you know, almost at the end, unfortunately, of our Olympic coverage. Tomorrow night is the final night. Tonight is not going to be that long, to be honest. We're going to do SmackDown. And then I think what I might do is stick around till about 7 Eastern, which is, you know, quite a bit shorter. But the reason why I've got to do that, or why I'm thinking of doing that, is because of tomorrow's massive. We've got UFC. Massive UFC show. I think is it 265. So we've actually got the big UFC monthly show. So I haven't done any prep for that. I won't get a chance to do much prep, but I would like to do something. So we've got that massive show. I haven't done the thumbnail yet. I haven't set up the stream, so I need to go and do all that. Obviously, tomorrow we've got the closing ceremony, so I need to sort that. So there's just a lot to sort. So it might be that tonight we just don't stick around as late. In all fairness, tonight doesn't really go on as late. Like the athletics went on till 3 o'clock yesterday. Tonight they go on till 2 o'clock. So today is an hour shorter anyway. So if we do finish around that time, we won't be missing out on much. So we'll see. But it would just give me some time to just get all of that sorted. And yeah, the UFC show, the big monthly UFC show, that really keeps the show on the road. So we just can't mess that around. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're still around for hours and hours and hours. We'll still. There's a good chance we're still here in 12 hours time. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I don't think anyone's going to feel shortchanged. Right, let's jump into the chat. Days, when do you actually sleep? So I sleep. I sleep as soon as the streams are finished. Then I have to get a few things sorted. Have to set up the next day's streams and whatever. And have a quick bite to eat, walk the dog, and then I'm asleep. So I still tend to get, like, I don't know how many hours I got last night. When I set my alarm, it said 6 hours 15. So I think I got about that. Obviously, I didn't go to sleep straight away, but yeah, it'd be about that. So yeah, I'm doing all right. We've survived. We've got through. It's been a pretty manic couple of weeks, but yeah, feeling okay. I must admit, like, I'm going to be disappointed and a bit sad that the Olympics are over because I've really, really enjoyed them. But equally, this isn't sustainable. This isn't something that you could do long term. This is something that is like, do you know what I mean? Once every 4 years. I probably feel the same way that the Olympic Committee feel. They probably think like, yeah, we couldn't do this show every year. We couldn't do this all the time. We like once every 4 years makes sense. So I probably feel the same way they do. It's like, yeah, I couldn't do this all the time. We'll give it another go in 4 years. But although saying that, of course, we will have a little look at the Paralympics, but it won't be anything compared to what we've just done. Winter Olympics. I've had more people ask me about Winter Olympics than I have for the Paralympics. So Winter Olympics, I think, will be all over. So, and that's next year. That's not far. And the World Cup's next year. We'll be all over that. So yeah, there's plenty of more streams on the way. Days, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. My dog has been unwell at the moment. The vet is taking care of her, also doing some blood tests to find out what's wrong. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, with dogs, they're just so... I didn't realise how special dogs were until I got one. I mean, I knew of people that had dogs and whatever, and it's just like we never had a dog or a cat as I grew up. We had rabbits a couple of times, but it's not the same. So yeah, I like never really got the dog thing or the cat thing. Obviously, I saw people walking them and whatever, but just never really paid them any attention. And then we got one about 7-8 years ago, and I mean, I get up and it's the first thing I do is I look to see where she is. I have a look, where is she? What's she up to? Go out, say hello. Like, I'll be streaming and, you know, I'll find myself thinking about, oh, I need to let her out. She's just always constantly on my mind. So, it's like a child. So, yeah, it's weird. Never had that with any other pet. I certainly didn't feel that way about my goldfish. I can tell you that. Or the rabbit. So, yeah, I totally get it. So, yeah, it's always heartbreaking when people have issues with their dogs and cats and pets and whatever. So, I hope she's well, buddy. I hope she, or he or she, hope they're well. Adam Cole is reported to be backstage at SmackDown tonight. Perhaps he wants to meet John Cena. Perhaps he's a massive John Cena fan. And John is making his wish. Days, what are your thoughts on Messi to PSG? Is it confirmed or what's the latest? Fill me in on what is going down in Messi Town, because I think he's going there. I don't think there's many teams in the world that can afford him, to be honest. I think that PSG are the kind of team that will spend crazy money without even thinking. PSG strike me as the kind of team that don't have really much of a budget. They literally just spend and they'll worry about it afterwards. So, yeah, I think PSG. I mean, I think with United, United is well run in the business sense. So I think that we're quite good at getting good sponsorship deals, and I think we're quite good at keeping within certain budgets and whatnot. We're not the kind of team that's just going to go out and snap up Messi because he's available. Like, if the numbers don't work, then the numbers don't work. So, but I think PSG are a little bit more wild, shall we say. So, yeah, I think PSG is where he's going. Big signing for them, but I really don't see how they can afford all the people they've got. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it, because there is financial fair play, which means that it all depends on how much the club is generating money-wise, and you can't spend more than the club is earning. It's a way of stopping these big billionaires coming in and just buying everyone. Like, the club has got to be buying the players, so it's got to be coming from the club. So it's all to do with, like, how much the club generates in income. So I just don't know how they can afford everyone, to be honest. They've got some massive names. So, yeah, they might have to sell, like, an Mbappe or someone in order to meet those targets. So my thoughts are, whoever gets him are getting arguably the world's greatest player. And I think he is going to PSG, and I wish him all the best. Negotiations are happening. It could be a 3-year contract. Right. Daniel says, do you think AEW have hit a new average? They hit 1.1 million, 4 weeks on the bounce. With the Olympics going on, with Punk and Bryan, surely it will go up. Yeah, I mean, certainly it feels like this is fairly consistent now. It feels like 1.1 is where they've managed to get to. I think 1.1 is very good. I think there will be an increase when Punk and Bryan get brought in. There will, of course, be an increase. But I do think that you're seeing a little push now because of all of the Punk and Bryan news. So, people are finding out that Punk and Bryan are going to AEW. So people are getting into the product now because there's a lot of casuals out there that won't know what week is coming in and will know that he's on the way, know that they want to watch. So they're starting to find it now. They're starting to be told about it now. They're starting to watch it now. So, 1.1, and I don't know what it could rise to. I mean, it's sort of the unknown number, but I would say that there's a bit of an increase from the Punk and Bryan news already. So it could go to 1.5. It could go to 1.7. The week he comes in, it could do 2 million. I mean, honestly, who knows? Who knows? It's pick numbers out of airtime. But I think yeah, it's settled just over that million. It looks like it's settled at 1.1. Once Punk and Bryan are in, it will settle again at a higher level. I don't know where that level is. My gut feeling would be about 1.4, 1.5, 1.5. You see, 1.5 feels high, to be honest. I mean, that's a jump up of 400,000. That's like going from 700,000 to 1.1. That is a massive jump. That is a huge jump. So I don't know. I feel like 1.5 would be huge. If it was to settle there once Punk and Bryan are in, that would be huge. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this does feel like the new benchmark. Manchester City 112 said, who thinks Messi is going to Man City? Don't think so. I mean, Pep kind of wished him all the best and seemed very dismissive. So I don't think so, unfortunately. Hello, Heather. Hope you are well. Heather saying that she would be running and shouting in the streets if they were to get to 2 million. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a chance that they could for the week that they bring Punk in. I mean, he's coming into Rampage, isn't he? So that's going to mess it up a little bit. But the Dynamite the week after, although I think people want to see him come in, don't they? People want to see the arrival of CM Punk, and it looks like Dynamite is going to be the show that benefits from Rampage will be the show that benefits from that. So hard to get to 2 million because he's not. If he was coming in on Dynamite, that would be the show that it would do it on. I don't know that Daniel Bryan is you bring Daniel Bryan in on a Dynamite. I don't know that does it. I don't know. It's going to be so interesting. So interesting. Chelsea have signed Messi, says Just Shanks Wrestling. Days, I'm on time today. Good. Just wondering where you was. And I'll be with you throughout the whole SmackDown stream. Maybe the Olympic stream. But I'll be on at least 3/4 of it. Well, good. Shout out to you, buddy. Dave in real life. Hope you well. Hazard talks footy. Hazard talks footy says, Days, have you heard the news? Fightful reported an hour ago that apparently Adam Cole Bay is backstage at SmackDown Bay tonight to discuss a new contract Bay with Vince Bay. Do you think he'll sign? What are your thoughts? Bay. No. I don't think he'll sign. I don't think he'll sign tonight. I mean, this is a power play by Vince, isn't it? Vince is going, God damn, sign the contract. Is he trying to make him sign like right now? Because I think that Adam Cole wants to look at what AEW are offering, and he wants to look at what WWE are offering, and he wants to make a decision. Right? What's better? What do I want? Yeah? Where am I going? So, he wants to look at both of those. So if WWE are offering a contract, it really depends if AEW have offered. Because if I'm Adam Cole and I'm going in to see Vince, right, I'm walking in. Hey, Vince. First of all, where's Linda? But ignore that for now. Second of all, contract. Let's have a read. Have a little read of what Vince is offering. Lovely. Yeah. Loving it. Good deal. Big fan, right? I'll get back to you. And that's it. I'm off, right? Because he's going to want to see what AEW have got to offer. So I can't see him signing tonight. The only way I could see him signing tonight is if AEW have already sent in their offer. He goes in. He sees Vince. The contract's there. It's a better deal. He's feeling good. Feels right. Might as well sign it. Otherwise, I don't see why he would sign tonight. It's a power play by Vince, isn't it? It's putting pressure on Adam Cole. God damn. Sign the contract. Sign it now. I don't want to. Baby. Ryan says, you're an inspiration. I watch you all day. I mean, I don't know if that was meant to come across as creepy as what it did. But I'm really thinking now, I mean, I sleep in the day. So that says to me that you're watching me whilst I sleep. So, I mean, I appreciate that. Do I? If you're keeping me safe whilst I'm asleep, I appreciate it. If you're doing pervy things like Austin 316 would, I don't appreciate it. But, no, shout out to you, Ryan. Appreciate the support, buddy. Days, apparently from reports, SmackDown last week went up 81.1% for women. Here come the girls, 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 girls. Here come the girls. 81% increase, guys. An 81% increase. We went from 10 women watching to 18.1 women watching. I don't know how you have a 0.1, right? It's a really small lady. So we went from 10 women to 18 women watching SmackDown last week. An 81% increase. If Sasha is really drawing those numbers, how do we know it's not Baron Corbin? Then, geez, it makes sense, I guess. Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think Bianca, Sasha are inspirational to women. I mean, I know everything there is to know about women. We've had this conversation before. And they are, every single one of them, inspired by Sasha Banks. So, yeah, it makes sense that she comes back and lots of women return as well. So if there are more women here, shout out to women, all the women. Welcome back to wrestling. Welcome back to SmackDown. And we've missed you. And, yeah, it's been... she is a draw. She's got a big stand-em, hasn't she? So she's brought the stands back. But what is that number? What is that number? What is an 81% increase in the 18 to 34 women demographic? What does that actually equate to in a number? Because I don't know. I haven't seen SmackDown numbers. I don't know what was the SmackDown rating from 2 weeks ago compared to last week. What is that? Because sometimes those percentages can sound really high, but it can be like 10 women to 18 women. I'm sure it's not. But you see my point. Like 80 odd % might not equate to like that big of a deal. So, yeah, you know, I'd look at the overall number and see what impact she had. What are the thoughts on the labours of Jericho? Personally, I think it's great. The guy can still go. It's a contrast to WWE bringing in Goldberg time and time again. I like it. I do have some small criticisms, right? I've got a few criticisms, but I like the idea in general. My main criticism is Jericho hates MJF, yeah? Like, he brought him into the inner circle, and he betrayed him. So why is Jericho going through 5 opponents to get his hands on MJF, who is seemingly at the arenas, seemingly backstage? Like, he was on commentary. Like, if I really hate someone and I just want to get my hands on them, I'm not going to play their sick game of beat 5 people of my choice and then you can have a match with me. Like, I'm going to look for them backstage and just rip their heads off. So, like, I don't quite get that bit. This is where it starts to get a bit like, when he said 5 as well, I was like, what? 5? I mean, it's such a big number. If it was like 3, I could maybe go, okay. But even that seems, I mean, like, it should be 1, really. Beat a person of my choosing and then you can have a match with me. You know, that would make you go, okay, I'm sure I can get past a match. 3, you'd be like, this seems like a lot of work just to have a match when I could just find him backstage and beat him up. 5! I remember when he said 5, I was like, nah, I'd forget it. It's ridiculous. You want to have a match with me? Then beat 5 people of my choosing. No, how about I just find you backstage with a lead pipe and just beat you up? Like he's always there. It's not as if he's never at the arena, so there's no way to get at him. He's always there. He was on commentary during the match. Like, all I'd have to do is get out of the ring and start beating him up on commentary. And if I get sued, I don't care. What's the worst that can happen? Get sued? Pfft, not bothered. Do you know what I mean? If you're Jericho and you've got, like, loads of money, who cares? So, yeah, I mean, I like the idea, but I just think that the way that they... there's a bit of logic missing. There's a bit of, like, you have to go with it. Do you know what I mean? I hate when you have to do that. I hate when you have to just... I'll go with it. Just go with it. Stop questioning it. Stop analysing everything. Just go with it. It's like, no, because the details are important. The details are important. So, you know, the actual matches itself, I think, have been a nice idea. And I think it's been a nice way of going through different stages of his career. So, you know, we went to the Painmaker. We've gone back to WCW. Now he's got to face Wardlow, which is sort of like his AEW self. So we've kind of gone through a few different stages of his career. But the problem is, you look at it, and that's why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want 5 matches to show off different parts of his career, right? Because I think he's going away. He's probably going to have that match with MJF and then go on tour with Fozzy or something. So I think there's a few rumours that he might even retire after this, but I don't believe that. So he's doing these 5 matches. Then I think he's going to go away for a while, and then I think he'll come back. So they want to do this as like a nice little retirement thing. Well, not a retirement thing, but like before he goes away. But yeah, I think I would have done it slightly different, to be honest. I think like he hates him so much that I just don't get why he doesn't just rip his head off backstage. So I think there could have been a bit more explaining done of that side, but it's good. I do agree with you. The idea is good. Just that little. Dakota Kai is in a dark match before SmackDown. We love to see. Cal, hope you're well. Dakota Kai in a dark match, so guessing she'll lose to Raquel and then get called up. Looks like there's going to be a few people on the way, because we know that Austin Theory is like floating around. Do you know what I mean? So I'm guessing like Theory could come up, Dakota could come up, Scarlett's going to come up, Carrion's already sort of up, but he'll be permanently up. So looks like there's like a little wave of NXT talent on the way. Canada wins gold, says Jeremy. What's that in, Jeremy? Talk to me. Talk to me. Is that in the marathon? Jim said, I'm really excited for Quinn McKay and Mandy Leon 2. Hello, Jim. I hope you are well. I would like to see some Quinn McKay matches. She is the announcer that was a wrestler. She was a wrestler. She then became an announcer. She wasn't really wrestling, to my knowledge, but they've now brought her back as a wrestler. And yeah, I think she's like she's really over. Right, people really love her. So yeah, I'd like to see some Quinn McKay matches. Theory faced Keith Lee before SmackDown, says Cal. Cal knows, doesn't he? Cal knows. Cal's basically there. At this stage, I'm pretty sure Cal works for WWE. At this stage, I think Cal's pretty much on the books, getting paid. So shout out to you, Cal. Appreciate the info. So yeah, looking good for Theory then. Looking good for Dakota Kai. Daniel said reports are coming out that Mbappe has been unhappy with PSG and wants to leave. And Wijnaldum Ramos signings don't bother him. And the Messi signing will actually kick him out the door. Get out. You're fired. Yeah, I think he goes, to be honest. I think he goes. I don't know about his happiness, to be honest. I didn't think about that or take that into account. But I did financially, I just don't see how they can afford it all. So yeah, I think he goes out the door as well. To Real Madrid, probably. Yes! Dakota Kai, main roster. Yes, please, says Dave in real life. Sir Lemon. Guys, we've got Sir Lemon in the chat right now. Days, do you think Dean Ambrose will ever return? Do I think Dean Ambrose will ever return? Yes. I think they will want to put the Shield in the Hall of Fame, and the Shield should go in the Hall of Fame. So he'll have to return for that. But they won't do it until... They won't do it anytime soon, of course. They will do it after he's left AEW, like once everyone's retired. They could look to do it. I mean, like, depending on timing and how it works, say 10 years' time. In 10 years, if he is done with AEW, right? Say he's done everything there is to do. He's faced, like, everyone he wants to face. There'll always be stuff for him to do there, but it might just come to the point where he's like, yeah, okay, I've done it all now. It's time to go back. He might go back to WWE, have one last run in 10 years' time. I mean, I don't know how old he'll be in 10 years' time. He's got to be, like, 49 in 10 years' time, or something like 50 maybe. So, you know, you're talking, like, when Ric Flair retired age. So, I could see him having, like, doing a little something, and then they'll put the Shield in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it'll be nothing more than that. I don't see him going back, like, next year or the year after, competing for the WWE Championship or anything like that. I think if he goes back for a little run, maybe with the Shield, 8 to 10 years time. They put him in the Hall of Fame, and that'll be it. But, I mean, it could be even more likely that there won't be that run, and we won't get that Shield reunion. Not match-wise, anyway. But, you know, they just put them in the Hall of Fame. We have all three of them on stage, and we get the hands in the middle thing. And we don't get matches, and we just get that. But I think he will go back for that reason. You've got to put the Shield in the Hall of Fame. They were too important. So the Shield go in. And then Dean should go in on his own as well. I'm a big believer that if you are WWE Champion or Universal Champion, you automatically go into the Hall of Fame. I'm a believer in that because I think for that time period, however short it was, but for that time period, you was the person. You reached the top of the wrestling industry. You got to the very, very top. So I kind of think that for that achievement, I mean, you would look at the list of champions, and I'd say 99% of them are no-brainers. 99% of them you'd go, yeah, they go in. So as a rule, like, to say that 99% of them you would look at and go, yeah, they deserve to go in. It's not bad. The sticking point is your Jinder Mahals. You might look at, like, a Jinder and go, you'd really put Jinder in the Hall of Fame. But I would put Jinder in the Hall of Fame because he was WWE Champion and he does represent India, which is 1.3, 1.4 billion people. And he was, like, super over there. So, you know, for a short time, he was the man. Like, and who knows what he achieves now. I mean, now he's feuding with Drew. He's had quite a few... he's been in WWE for quite a while, and we've spoke about all this before. It's one that really does split opinion, but I just think as a general rule, if you've made it to the very top, if you get to WWE, you're in the biggest wrestling company in the world. That's fact. I'm not interested in AEW, blah, 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 blah. Right now, WWE is the biggest wrestling company in the world. So if you get there, and then you manage to get through NXT, and you get onto Raw and SmackDown, and then you manage to get past, like, being a jobber, and you get past being a mid-carder, and you actually get to the point where you're in main events, and you are the champion. Like, for me, that's significant. That's big. So, yeah, I think Dean has got that. He had an all right solo run. He was champion. I think he should go in twice. I would put him in as Shield, and I'd put him in as Dean Ambrose. And I'd do the same with Roman. I'd do the same with Seth. I think all of them have had have managed to not only reach the top within the Shield, but reach the top individually as well. So yeah, he goes back for that reason for me. Reports came out that Adam Cole has already received his offer from AEW yesterday, so he could compare what he gets with Vince tonight. Interesting. Once Cena, Edge, Goldberg, etc. disappear, again, who is the next guy to make the jump to the main roster? I'd love to see Cole, O'Reilly, Riddle get that push. I think Riddle's getting that push, to be honest. I think Riddle is in a really good place. I mean, the crowd are really reacting to him now. Like, Riddle is starting to get that organic kind of push. Riddle is starting to get that momentum that, like, Daniel Bryan was getting. Like, when his music hits, there's like a, here we go, this is our guy. Like, you see it every once in a while, and Riddle has got it. So Riddle is in a great place. He's in a great place. So I think if Vince is meeting with Adam Cole personally to offer him contracts and convince him to stay, you gotta say that's looking good. So yeah, I think these are the names. I mean, it's hard to not see them do something with Carrion. I mean, I know there's a lot of criticism about how they're using him on the main roster so far, but it is a story that is apparently designed to bring in Scarlett. It's not a story that I'm a fan of, but it is a story. So I think they're doing something with him. They're bringing in Carrion and Scarlett and looking to already use them. So I think Carrion, I think Cole, I think Riddle. The names you mentioned, basically. The names you mentioned. I think Austin Theory will be a big star as well. And don't forget Gabriel Steveson. Gabriel Steveson, if he signs, I mean, he's 24 now, I believe, Gabriel Steveson. 24, and he is an amateur wrestler. He, I think, has been working hard to get to the Olympics and win the gold medal. He's just achieved it. I don't think there's any need now for him to stick around in amateur wrestling. I think now his popularity, his notoriety, his fame, absolutely everything is at its peak. So you've got to strike whilst the iron is hot. I think he'll be at SummerSlam, Gabriel Steveson. I think he'll be at SummerSlam. WWE now need to get the machine behind him. They need to start really getting out this guy and making sure that we all know who he is. If you say the name Gabriel Steveson and people go, who? Like that, then they're not doing their job well. So yeah, they need to get the machine behind him. Going Ghost, shout out to you, buddy. Right, we are going over to SmackDown. I will read out your message in a second. Let me just change this. Right. SmackDown. I'm just waiting to see who comes. If it's Roman that's about to come down, we'll have about half an hour to carry on talking. Who is it? It's boss time. We might not have half an hour. What's she wearing? Not much by the looks of it. Sasha Banks. Boss time is back, and she is badder and meaner than ever. She looks great. Days, I love WWE, and I know you said Vince isn't concerned, but stars are leaving at an alarming rate. What do you think Vince Creative can do to stop the bleeding? I don't think he's bothered. I think he's been releasing people. So, he released Braun and he released Bray. So he's been letting people go. So I don't think that he's bothered, to be honest, mate. If he wants people to stay, he can sit them down and say, this is what we're going to do. Tell them about a really good creative idea. Give them a little bit more money. And, WWE, I'd imagine, is a hard thing to leave because it's such a big company. And it's got such a reach. Like, it's known around the world. I mean, wrestling-wise, there's not really anything like it. I mean, I don't know how AEW does in India. I don't know what their performance is like over there. I don't know how AEW does in, like, Australia and all over the world. Like, what the views are like. But we know that WWE is worldwide entertainment. Like, they go to India, they go to Mexico, they go to Australia, they go to Europe. Their reach is just incredible. So it's a hard company to leave. Like, for your personal brand, this is where you'd want to be. This is the big time. It'd be like leaving the NFL if you were as a football player. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, this is where you want to be. But I understand that you could be frustrated. Someone like Daniel Bryan, for example, they tried to keep him, but I don't think there was much they could do. I think Daniel's a wrestler at heart, and he wants to wrestle, and he wants to wrestle in other companies. There's not much you can do with that. Not everyone's going to feel that way. So, yeah, with someone like Daniel Bryan, it was always going to be a bit of an uphill challenge. I was still surprised he left, but I think he left because he wants to go to New Japan. I think he left because he wants those other experiences. So, I mean, don't forget, he was like in Ring of Honor, and he was doing it. He was huge on the indie scene before he came to WWE. Someone like Bianca Belair might not be interested in going to, like, Stardom. Do you know what I mean? She might not be interested at all. Why would Bianca want to go to Stardom? Even, she never did anything on the indie scene. WWE took her. I think she was like a CrossFit athlete or something. She was like an amazing athlete. Trained her up and made her the wrestler she is. She is an absolute product of the Performance Center. So, yeah, I wouldn't be concerned. Vince isn't. I wouldn't be concerned. And he's trying to keep the people that he wants to keep. I mean, if he is having meetings personally with Adam Cole, Bianca would be nothing without me. Not me. Sasha. Did you see it? Did you see that Bianca was crying in our match because she was standing opposite the greatest of all time? It's a good line, isn't it? Gabriel Steveson just turned 21 in May. Even more reason for WWE to get him signed, as he could have a long career. Oh, I thought it was 24. The commentator, I thought, said 24. So, 21, I mean, yeah, amazing. She said she's back to make Bianca pay. And here is Bianca. Big cheer for Bianca. Here she is. I love her music. I've always loved her music. First of all, Some real sass. There's sass in this segment, let me tell you. There's sass everywhere. Girl. I love that. Girl. Nice. No one wants to see Sassy versus Bianca again, says Ryan. I like Randy should be feuding with Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. As an Indian, I can say no one knows Jinder in India. People here mostly know Roman Reigns because RK is stale. Well, I don't know, dude. I mean, I've seen videos of Jinder going to India and getting heroes welcomes. I mean, granted, those are WWE-produced video clips, but I would understand that the average person on the street wouldn't know who Jinder was. But, I mean, wrestling fans in India know who Jinder is. And certainly around that time as well, there was a big push to try and, like, really crack India. That was the whole point of him having the belt. That was the whole reason that Jinder was champion. Was because they were trying to break even more so into that Indian market. It's such a massive... It's 1.3, 1.4 billion people. So they're really trying to get into that market. So they made a big, big play with that with Jinder. And I think they will again. I could see Jinder getting another run with that championship at some point. Here's Zelina. Bianca, look at me when I'm talking to you. Are you lost? Just women everywhere. We've got Sasha outside the ring, Bianca in the ring, Zelina making her way down. Zelina came back for a reason, and that was to make people listen to that theme, says Novfreeze. Paul Brown, shout out to you. Tione the Goat said Sasha's husband looks like my grandpa. Oh. I can't wait for the Yudong fight. It's going to be big. You accepted my challenge. Sasha's on the commentary table laughing. I'll see you at SummerSlam. To Sasha. I'll fight you tonight. So is that for the title? So is it going to be Zelina versus It's good, this is. I mean, they're really positioning Bianca. I mean, Bianca is the focal point, as she should be as champion. But yeah, I mean, the way that she kind of dealt with that situation was really good. She's the one with all the power. She's the one that's in control. Everything is focused on her. And she's very much like, I'll see you at SummerSlam. I'll see you tonight. So, Women's Championship match tonight. Bianca Belair versus Zelina Vega. I like it. Good. She's the champ. She is. And she dealt with that situation well. She kind of came across really, like, in control. She really came across like she knew what she was doing. It was she'd thought it out, and she was like, do this. I liked it. Belair was good during that segment. Bianca is the strongest woman in SmackDown. I think that's true. Yeah, I think they didn't do it again, but they did a combine, which I don't really know what that meant, but the combine was where they, in NXT in the Performance Center, actually measured everyone, how high they could jump, how fast they could run, and Bianca was coming out on top on all of them. But I think it was a legit thing. I think. You could actually watch them doing it, but I don't know if they weren't just, like, sweetening the results a little. But apparently it was all legit. Right, we've got Dominic and Rey Mysterio, Boyaka 619. I won last week, yes, with your help, but I didn't need it. You know how much I want those titles back in our family. Right, we're just hearing from Ray and Dominic right now. Let's see what you got. Usos! Question of the day. What playsets and figure should Mattel make? I like the new Ultimate Entrance Stage and Elite Scale Hell in a Cell. I would like a Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns Elite Pack. Well, I've thrown it out there. We'll see what answers people come back with. What would you like Mattel to make? Looks to make his dad proud as he takes on Jey Uso. Febim. There's Reginald yet again shines on YouTube. Reginald versus Tozawa is about to hit 1 million. Also, his video on Insta is near 20 million and 1.4 million likes. What are your thoughts? Without knowing how that compares to the others, it's hard to say. Like, it certainly sounds impressive. I mean, 1 million, is that a lot? Is that a lot compared to all the other videos? I don't know. I don't know where the benchmark is. But what it isn't is 12,000, is it? And it's not 50,000, and it's not 100,000. But what it is I would imagine up there in the mix. People are watching it. So yeah, I mean it. it shows why they're using him. So if you watch Reginald come down and you're like, why do they keep bringing this guy out? This is not what I want. But it's clearly what someone wants because it's being watched and it's being interacted with and all that kind of stuff. So there's obviously a lot more to it than that. It's not just like YouTube views and Instagram. I mean, it's hard to know exactly what Vince looks at and exactly what Vince uses to decide what deserves more TV time. But I would say if you're getting those numbers, it's helping rather than hindering. So, yeah, it would go some way as to explain as to why he's been used so much. Only the Drew Goldberg segment from Raw got more than the Reginald one. There we go. There we go. So, yeah. What are you writing? I'm actually writing the stuff that we need to watch tonight for the Olympics. So I'm keeping an eye on the show. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. And I'm actually writing down to make sure that we don't miss anything that we need to watch. Because there's quite a bit that's going on tonight. So, but actually, it's quite a nice night. It's quite a comfortable night. It's not one that's like, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do that, we've got to go here, we've got to go there. Like the manic Olympic streams we've been doing, where it's like we've got 3 screens on at the same time. Like that's kind of coming to an end now. Now it's like we can actually watch things one at a time, and like it's good. Manuel, Ubina. There we go. Manuel Ubina. Shout out to you, my friend. Really appreciate the support. Hope you are well. Men can multitask. Just ask Wrestling Days. Yeah, women saying that we can't do these things. Look, check us out. I should put a wheelchair parking blue circle after my name, says William Hensey. Hope you're well, William. I saw the Canada women are the best at football in the world. Yeah, they did brilliant. We were watching that right at the end last night. Very, very dramatic. Very dramatic. Penalty shootout. Do you know, I totally forgot the Usos were tag champs. Totally forgot. I just saw that they had the belts. I was like, Didn't know they were tag champs. But they are. Here's Dominic making his way down. Boyaka, boyaka. 619. Edward Brown, shout out to you. McLean said the segment between Sasha and Bianca was pretty good. It overshadows their rivalry earlier this year. Joaquin Uribe said, if you got free tickets to Raw, would you go? I wouldn't, says Joaquin. Depends. If it's just, here's some free tickets. Because I do know, like, some people in, obviously, WWE, because they've been very kind to send things through in the past. So if there were some free tickets that came in the post, probably not. Because I'd stream it with you guys instead. If it was a case that they'll come down, you know, we'll have a drink, we'll have a little chat kind of a thing, then I'd have to, wouldn't I? Because I have done it where I've gone down and actually met with them. Only briefly. Just in, like, when they were in London, I actually went into, like, this VIP area, which was amazing. And I went to this VIP area, and they brought out Rey Mysterio and Ruby Riott. They only did a quick interview with them. I think Charlie Caruso might have been there as well. They only did, like, a real quick interview. Just like, you excited to be in London, blah, 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 blah. And then they went again to get ready for the show. Like, there was no opportunity to, like, meet them and have a chat. But I was in the room with, like, loads of other people. I'd say there's about 150 people in this room. And it was all the people that... So if you want to make, like, a wrestling board game, say you've got a dream that you want to make a WWE board game, what you would do is you would meet with WWE at a trade show, and you would say, look, I want to make this board game. And WWE would be like, right, okay, it's going to cost you $20,000 or whatever it might be to use the WWE name, the logos, our characters, all this kind of stuff. We also want a percentage of the profits, blah, 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 right? So you sort the deal out, you sign the contract, you go off and make the board game, they get their money, they get their profits, you keep the rest, you sell the board game, blah, 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 right? That's how the world works. A lot of the products that come out, WWE don't make them themselves. It's people that come to them and say, I want to do this, I want to make this, can I make it? Using WWE as, you know, graphics and everything. And they'll go, yep, it's going to cost you $50,000 or whatever it might be. Blah, 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 blah. So this room had kids magazine people, people that make board games, people that make top trumps, people that make, you know what I mean? Like all these executives, people that make products and partners and all them kind of things. So I was in there because of the fact they'd asked me to do those interviews. So I was in there for that reason. Because I met with Braun and I met with Cesaro last time they came over, and they were great. I loved doing those. Really enjoyed those. But if it was a case that they wanted me to go to something like that, then of course I'd have to go. But if it was just like, here's some free tickets, no, I wouldn't. Not because of how bad the show is, because in all fairness, if you go with a friend and you have a drink, you could have a great time, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean? If you go down with a friend and just go and drink, and then you just see like people coming out. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you went to Raw, like, all right, the matches aren't going to be great, the storytelling might not be great, but you get to go to a show, with loads of other wrestling fans, have a few drinks, hot dog, whatever, sit, chat with your mates, and you'd pop for the entrances. So, like, Riddle comes out, you're going to be like, yeah, Riddle! Do, do, do. And you never know, you might see Randy Orton, which would be cool. Bobby Lashley, see him. So, I wouldn't be too down on going, to be honest, because I can see the value in seeing people come out. And, like, the entrances and whatnot. But I think the show itself, you'd have to be like, yeah, the show's not going to be great, but it'd be worth going, having a few beers, good night out. Do you know what I mean? Go to a pub before and try and find a cheeky place after as well. Like, you could have a good night. You can still make some of it. Manuel Urbina said, what do you think about WWE going back to the Thunderdome due to the pandemic? I think it's, appreciate the support, but I think it's going to be potentially unavoidable and out of their hands. I mean, if it's all about what this variant's going to do, isn't it? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic. We don't know how bad it's going to get, or if it's not going to get bad at all. I mean, it seems like things are getting worse. And this variant is, a real concern. I believe the mask mandate has come back. And if it's going to be a case where you just can't do these kind of gatherings again, they're not going to have any choice, to be honest, to be truthful. They won't have a choice. They will have to go back to a Thunderdome. If they go back to a Thunderdome, I don't think anything changes. To be honest, I don't. It's great to have fans back and to have that live energy again. Like, we've definitely missed it. But the shows haven't changed. Nothing's really changed. Like, I don't feel like they've, like, brought out the big creative. The only thing I would say is that all of those kind of call-ups, returns, surprises, we got them. Do you know what I mean? Like, we got Finn Balor getting called up. We got Karrion Kross getting called up. We got the return of Sasha Banks. We got John Cena. Like, we got these big moments because the fans were back. If we have to go back to a Thunderdome, it would slow that down. But I think by and large that's done anyway. I don't know, like, other than Becky, maybe Brock. I don't know who else there is to, like, bring in, to be honest. So I think that if we go back to a Thunderdome, I don't think a great deal changes. I wouldn't want to go back to a Thunderdome because I think it guarantees that everything's going to slow down and stay quite slow. So I wouldn't want to go back to that. But maybe they could do something whereby it's a Thunderdome and you have, like, a little crowd in the front few rows or something. Maybe you can get away with having 1,000 people rather than 20,000 people. And you might be able to still do something whereby it's Thunderdome and, a few people around the front. I'm not too sure. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I don't know what the pandemic looks like in America right now. I just know that things are getting worse to the point where the mask mandate has come back. So, yeah, I'm not keen to go back to it, is my answer. I'm not keen to go back to it. But equally, I don't know that it's going to feel all that different. Don't forget as well, I mean, they're starting to turn the crowd down and hide chants and all this anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, if you're going to do that, if you're going to control the crowd, like, and try to eliminate Wyatt chants and CM Punk chants and whatever. There's not much point in having them anyway. So, we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't get to that, but we'll see how it goes. Whackin' Uribe said if it was Attitude Era, Raw, or Ruthless Aggression, then you'd go. Yeah, you wouldn't want to miss those. Those shows, they felt like there was things you couldn't miss. You couldn't afford to miss those, because if you miss those shows, you're gonna miss out on something big. Always felt like there was something big that was going to happen during Attitude Era, because they had to make sure something big was happening, because they were going up against WCW same night for the same viewers. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso wins. Jey Uso wins. Uso. There are 2 people dating in the chat right now. Love it. Big fan of that. Hopefully we get a baby out of it. Baby, baby, baby. And I was like, baby, 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 oh. Right, Usos win. Thoughts on Lukaku going to Chelsea, most probably, and PSG able to sign Messi without breaking FFP despite signing. Well, I don't know. Is that true? Would they not break financial fair play? I don't know if that's true. If they wouldn't break financial fair play, then I'd have some questions. How can a team in France, in the French league, and I know their TV rights have been messed up. I watched a whole video about it the other day. So I know that their stuff is all messed up. So how can a French team in a not very well-funded French league that hasn't won the Champions League afford all these players? So yeah, I'd have questions. I know they've got rich owners, but financial fair play should eliminate that, shouldn't it? So yeah, I'd have questions. I can't remember the other part of the question. Lukaku, great player. He'd be a great signing. He just wasn't right for United. We weren't using him correctly. We've got Edge. When Seth gets here, I'm going to show him what a selfish B-word I can be. Rick Boogs. Boogs. Well, with the Jordan deal with PSG, they rake in 200 million per year for 3 years. On top of it, brand deals. I think they can afford it. With the Jordan deal with PSG, they rake in 200 million. What, a deal with Jordan? I don't know what this deal is. What do you mean? The country of Jordan? No. I do know what this deal is. Air Jordan. They've got a deal with Air Jordan, and that's what, 200 million a year, that deal. Maybe it's a case they do have stuff like that then. I mean, it's got to be within financial fair play. It has to be. But I don't know. I don't know that they can afford it. I don't know that they can afford it. We'll find out. We'll get our answer, won't we? Right, here's Nakamura. I don't know who he's facing or what he's doing. I don't remember him being on the preview. The True King. Boogs has got some quads. There's going to be a marriage between John Cena and American Girl 2021. Both of them are dating in the chat right now. That's nice. How much is WWE paying Rick Boogs just to play the guitar for a few minutes? WWE releasing people due to budget cuts is bull. Bull. Beep. Still need a mask with some places to eat. I am the real John Cena 16 champ. It's a contenders match. Who's he facing? I didn't see who he was facing. Who's he facing? Apollo, is it? I like to see Vin Diesel in WWE Raw. When do you think Big E will cash in? Hello, Wrestling with Andy. I think it'll be after WrestleMania, to be honest. I think after WrestleMania, I think it makes sense. If we keep him undefeated till WrestleMania, do Roman versus Big E, and then Roman versus Rock, and then have Big E. I mean, I would personally have Roman win that, and I'm sure many of you would as well. I know there'll be a lot of people that would say Rock, but he's not sticking around. So I'd have Roman win it, be a big win for Roman, and then have Big E cash in. How days go and check GCW. It's a wrestling channel, and they just dropped GCW WrestleMania. Shout out to you, Elizabeth. What if Jimmy and Jay are just pretending to be on Roman's side till he's down and vulnerable? What if it's all a plan? Bum, bum, bum. Harley said, I think Big E cashes in on Bobby. Fabian said, Days, PSG signed Ramos, Wijnaldum, Donnarumma as free agents, which means the salary increases huge. They also signed Hakimi for 60 to 80 million. How the flip does this allow Messi after this? I don't know. I mean, my gut feeling is they would have to sell someone. My gut feeling is that if they sign Messi, Mbappe leaves. But we'll see. We'll find out, won't we? I mean, you never quite know how they can cook the books, move things around, what deals are in place. I mean, you would have to know the full financials for PSG, and I don't. I don't know them. I don't know the full financials. I would say no football fan does. So I think we'll just have to wait and see how they can afford it all. But hopefully they get audited and it all gets looked into and it's all above board. Because I know there's a few question marks, more than question marks, around Man City's dealings with financial fair play. There was rumours they might get kicked out of the Champions League at the end of last season because of breaking financial fair play rules. So financial fair play is, I think, a good thing. It's a positive thing. It keeps all clubs within a budget. You spend what you earn, basically. But without doing an audit on them, which I have no interest in doing, and seeing their full financials and whatever, I honestly wouldn't know. Jungle Cruise, congratulations to The Rock, the #1 movie worldwide. And the Suicide Squad, John Cena, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well done to The Rock, and well done to John Cena. Well done, everyone. Do you know a B word that rhymes with mustard? Say the word if you figure one out. I don't know. No. Congratulations to Cena. Doesn't mean it works. Doesn't mean it works. Oh, hello, what's this? CG, is that CGI? Or was that on the screen? CGI lions. CGI gold lions. CGI gold lions. And has he got the spears? No. It's a shame because when they change camera, they disappear. Look, it depends what camera you use. If you use this camera, they're there. If you use the other camera, there's nothing there. Right, so Apollo, Nakamura versus Apollo. Apollo! Suicide Squad was actually pretty good. It was better than the first. Yeah, I never saw the first, but I heard it was rubbish. There's not really anything that we're missing at the Olympics at the moment. There's a few things on, like, golf. But we do have things kicking off as soon as we're done with SmackDown. It's good of them to allow us to watch SmackDown. Hit row on SmackDown. Austin said, I want Apollo to lose the title, to be honest. Yeah, I do. I don't know who to, though. Maybe Balor or Nakamura. I don't mind either. Vape Ross Vape said, have you sent any tapes to the WWE for commentary? No. No. I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. Their treatment of the IC champ has been pretty bad, says Harley. Heather said, first one wasn't horrid, but Jared Leto as the Joker was awful. Brian said, all the dating talk in the chat makes me miss being with someone. I hate being single. Guys, Brian is single. If you want to date Brian, he is available right now. So, hopefully the increase in ladies watching SmackDown means we've had an increase in ladies joining us here also. Sasha stands out there, welcome. So, yeah, Brian. Good guy, Brian. I'm sticking up for Brian. He's a good guy. He's one of the good guys. Treat you right, yeah? Days, is SmackDown in the bin like Raw? I think SmackDown's had a problem for a little while where it has good starts, has decent endings, might be the odd bit in the middle, but you do get stuck with a few things as well. I mean, it's not a great show, SmackDown. I'm sorry to say. I think SmackDown is a good show, and it can be a very good show, but it's not a great show. Not consistently. Raw is a bad show. And Paul White used to be the big show. Right, Boogs is playing the guitar. I remember a lady asking me if I was single in the chat before. I got creeped out because her profile looked like she was 54. No offense. Here's Kayla. Backstage waiting. When was the last time Apollo defended the IC Championship? Do you know? I don't know. I don't know. It's been a while. Alex says, oh my gosh, did you hear about the guy who was taking underwear? Taking underwear. By AEW logic, Undertaker is AEW bound. I have no idea what you mean. I have no idea what that's about. Did I hear about the guy taking underwear? Dave in real life, what have you been up to? As soon as I hear of someone stealing underwear, I think Dave in real life. That is such a Dave in real life move. Dave in real life is all elite. Days, at this point, it's a toss-up between tonight and WrestleMania 17 for the greatest night in the history of the sport. I know, dude. I know, it's right up there. I have kind of come to the conclusion that it's going to take a little bit of time for things to just get rolling. Do you know what I mean? I think, like, there's enough happening at the top of the card for this to be good, but the middle to the bottom of the card is not good. So, you know, Cena and Roman, wonderful. Seth and Edge, wonderful. Bianca and Sasha, wonderful. I'm into all of those. Middle of the card's a bit loose. Online dating is not allowed in the chat. It is not a good idea to hook up with people you don't know. They could be serial killers. Some wise words from Sonny Wolf. Wise words. Guys, please be careful, because many people in this community are known serial killers. And if you are going to hook up with them, you have to know the risk that you're taking. You have to know that risk. Imagine if they made Corbin sign the contract. How mad would you be? There he is. There he is. These two. You want. Paul Heyman and Kayla Braxton. Love it. Paul Heyman is so good, isn't he? He is so good. The Tampa Bay Schmuccaneers. No. This contract is a joke. Oh my God, logic. Logic. I love logic. Yeah, he's right. Preach. Preach, Paul Heyman. I must say, the fact they're focused on this and the fact they're making that like a point, it does make me more invested in this story. I'm sure you're used to hearing this. Oh, Big E! Big E is standing there with the briefcase looking at Heyman and laughing. Brilliant. That was good, man. I love Heyman with Kayla. Those two together, I think, are so much fun. So, yeah, I love the fact they're focused on that contract thing. It just makes it feel more credible. And then you've got, like, Big E. Like, you've got, like, Heyman being super serious, and then you've got Big E just giggling away. Big E is so good. Never make him turn heel. He is perfect. He is perfect. Very good. Good little segment, that. Good segment. Thanks, Thanks, Vince. Why are all the heels having psychological problems? Roman, psychopath. Bray, split personality. Seth, bipolarite. I didn't know that was a thing. Corbin, depression. Yeah. I mean, all the big heels certainly seem to have things. What about Bobby? He's just a focused killer, isn't he, at the moment? Could we argue that Apollo Crews has got an identity crisis? Big E is so good. Get a Heyman makeover today and don't delay. When your mother asks, do you want a piece of advice? It is a mere formality. It doesn't matter if you answer yes or no. You are going to get it anyway. That is a fact. Best segment of the night. Big E and Heyman were brilliant. Alexa Bliss Gamer says Alexa Bliss is better than Sasha Banks. Have you tweeted that? Can you tweet that for me? And can you add something like, I can't believe people like Sasha. She's so ratchet. Something along those lines. And then just let me know what your responses are like. James Kenny said, Days, can you download the Jinder Mahal kayaking simulator? It's a game where you have to kayak around Florida, get to Russia to get a special Russian McDonald's apple pie car. They just added a brand new paddle. That's going to help. That's going to definitely help with the journey. So I will look into that one. Sasha Banks is better than Alexa Bliss, says Mike Rosa. Oh my God. Oh my God. It started. It has started. Guys, Lily is better than both. Yeah, so... now build that story with Big E and let it marinate. Nice word. Till the right time, then cash in at the right time. Going Go said Liv Morgan is better than Ric Flair, and I agree with that. Because I don't know who that Ric Flair is. Days, did you see Black reveal Heyman really only had full creative control of Raw for his first day, and after that every show was a fight? Thoughts? Yeah. Yeah, I think we sort of presumed that. I don't think you ever would get full creative control. Not with Vince around. I think you could have influence, but yeah, I never thought you'd have big creative control. Oh, they've added another gun. That's better. They've got the gun at the front, and now they've got a gun for Knox at the back. That's better. It's horrible music, innit? Knox. Knox. It's a hard knocks life for us. Shayna Baszler is better than Alexa Bliss, says Rated R Wrestling. But Spark said the tank is a highlight. Can someone update me what match is going on right now? I think it's Tamina versus Knox. We want Otis. Oh, we definitely want Otis. It's horrible music in it. It's horrible. I don't like it. It's not Sasha. It's Sassy. They called her Tegan Knox. Must got her name back. They called her Tegan Knox. Must have got her name. Maybe they made. Oh, maybe they made a mistake. I don't know. The graphic said Knox. Tegan Knox is better than just Knox. Knox is just weird. It's not just part of Retribution. T-Bar, Mace, Knox. This belongs on Raw. Do you know what? Raw invaded. Raw just invaded. My mother always used to say the older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana. Silly banana. Here's Zelina. Hi. Oh, there's a problem. Can't have a championship match without promotion. When am I getting my match? Oh, what's going on? Bianca Belair doesn't make matches around here. I do. So. What's this? No. So it's not a title match now. How does this make any sense? We're going to give you a title match. Wow. Actually, we're taking it back. You can't have it now. You don't deserve it. What did I do? What did I do? No, you can't have it. But you told me. I saw the graphic. I saw the graphic. No. I'm angry with you now. I feel like I'm in an abusive relationship. That's what I feel like I'm in. Have this amazing thing. Have this amazing thing. Thank you. No, you can't have it now. Oh, why? Why? What did I do? Was I a bad viewer? Was I a bad viewer? What did I do wrong? Was it because I just said Raw had invaded for... Oh, my God. Give me what I want. Yeah. Here's the rated R superstar, Edge. How does any of this make sense? How does it make sense? She's like... How does this make sense? You can have a title match. Right, so Bianca, we praised Bianca earlier. Do you remember the praise that we had for Bianca? And I was like, that's so good how she dealt with that. I'll see you at SummerSlam. I'll see you tonight. Lovely. Praise. Right? Then it's like, no, you can't have the title match. Zelina said, all I want to hear is that I'm the new champ, right? Zelina said, all I want to hear is Zelina Vega, new SmackDown champ. That's all she wants to hear, right? So they turn around and they say to her, you need to prove yourself. Bianca doesn't make the matches we do. So how about tonight is a non-title match? You win it and prove that you deserve the opportunity to fight for the title. And Zelina at that point should have spat in their faces, right? Because at that point, they're taking away the only thing she wants to hear. The only thing she wants to hear is Zelina Vega, new SmackDown Women's Champion. And they're turning around saying, you can't have that, right? You can have a non-title match, and if you win it, then you can have the title match that you were going to get anyway minutes ago, right? And Zelina's like, yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, nah, that sounds fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. So there we go. Literally, champions make matches all the time. LMAO. Edge has the greatest spear in the history of WrestleMania, says Zoom Station. Pierce and Sonya must hate logic. Well, I mean, it's just a weird thing, really. I can understand them saying, like, we make the matches, Bianca doesn't. I can understand that. But I don't get why Zelina was fine with it. Don't get that bit. Because she wants to be champion. She's got a title match, and it's just been taken away. And she's fine with it. So don't get that bit. And also, is it not a bit weird that it's sort of like been announced with a graphic and it's out there? Like, the world has seen now that we're getting a title match. So isn't it not just a bit weird at this point? Like, I kind of feel like the horse has already bolted. I kind of feel like the horse has gone. Like, you can't now grab the horse and bring it back. Like, you've told the world, you've told everyone there's going to be a title match. To downgrade it now. It's weird. They're doing it the wrong way round. Shouldn't it be the case that it's a normal match and then they just do a segment saying it's now a title match? Like, don't you make things bigger? Don't you make things more exciting? You know, wouldn't you have a heel champion that was throwing their weight around? And then, like, Sonya and Adam Pearce would say something like, you know, that match later is now a championship match. Like, you don't. Why would you ever announce a championship match and then downgrade it? I don't know. We're spending a long time on it, but this is the show. This is the show that is meant to, do you know what I mean? Be the A show. This is the show that keeps us all sane. Thank you, Tampa. Here's Edge. Let's see what this segment does. Edge. Seth isn't here tonight. That's my understanding, says Edge. He's nowhere near here, and I don't blame him. With what I'd do to him, I'd end up in jail. Zelina doesn't deserve a title match to begin with. She's been back a minute, and she thinks she's entitled. I know why she was gone, but Zelina did nothing to earn that title shot. But it was given. It was given. I mean, Asuka granted Rhea a title shot at WrestleMania. Rhea did nothing. She just walked in on Raw and did nothing. I mean, there's many, many examples where there's many examples where people have been granted a title shots over nothing. I don't like them. I don't like them, and I don't disagree with the point. But why would you not stop it at the time? Why, if it is a problem and like Bianca says, "I'll give you a title," why did Adam Pearce and Sonya not walk out earlier in the first segment and stop it there? Why have they gone to the effort of showing us the graphic, making the match, showing us the graphic, leaving it about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then doing a completely separate segment where they take the match away. I mean, like, from a booking point of view, it's awful. Here's Seth. Seth's via Cephalite. That should be Cephalite. Via Cephalite. It's a green suit with pink butterflies on. Edge says he's got a plan B. How about you and I, one-on-one, first time ever at SummerSlam? I call the shots, says Seth. I call the shots. Seth says, let me think about it. Okay, he says, I'm going to think about it, but maybe you should think about it as well. Maybe everyone should think about it. I'm going to think about it. His neck has been fused 3 times. I didn't realise that. I didn't realise it was 3 times. Your career is probably gone. Edge says, you don't talk about my family. You're like a fever dream of Russell Brand. I didn't expect that name. I love Seth in this, says Zachary. Do you think a ranking system like AEW would be ideal? It's got to be used, right? I'm into that. I'm into rankings and things along those lines, but you're trying to walk in my footsteps, but you can't fill them. You're edge light. Edge light. I'm not a light version of you. I'm better than you in every single way. That's upsetting. That's upsetting. You want me one-on-one? Yeah. You're on. You're on. There we go. SummerSlam. Big smile on the face of Edge. The match is made. Poor crowd. All WWE does is sell boring slam. What a match, says Harley. WWE should let fans vote each on the ratings of wrestlers like a top 10 most voted list. That'd be interesting. The only downside is you might get a load of people being like funny. I could see quite a few people going, "Oh, should we vote for I don't know, Mojo Rowley?" Finn Balor. Stop, Kayla. Just stop. I heard that Coors is getting rid of several of their beers, but maybe they should add a new one. Edge Light, says John. Just watching an interview with Finn, talking about Baron Corbin. Remember when they rigged Dancing with the Stars and forced Jerry Springer to stay on it because he kept getting voted on as a joke? Yeah, I could see that being a thing. We have that here in the UK when we do our like dancing celebrity show. We get people that stick around longer than they should. Here is the Street Profits. Bum ba da dum bum 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 bum. That Titantron's making me feel a bit sick. You've just got like these buildings, like you're looking up from the pavement, and these buildings like whizzing past. The Sultans of Swag. Is that their nicknames? I didn't know that. Mojo Rawley would be voted on as a troll to McMahon. I tweeted you a photo of the game. It's a charity game, so show the stream. I genuinely don't know where my phone is right now. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, here. Bum, bum, bum. I'm so behind with Twitter. What have you I don't even know what this is. Like I hope everything's okay because I'll show the stream what you've sent me a picture of. And honestly, I look at that and I'm just like, I think you need to get help. Like, this doesn't look right to me. This is like, do you know what I mean? Maybe that, I look at that and I think, you need an early night, bud. You need an early night. You need to get yourself an early night. Get yourself off to bed. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you've been watching a bit too much wrestling. Perhaps you've been watching a little bit too much. Days, what do you rate SmackDown? Get in your scores. We'll do halftime scores. Halftime scores! This crowd doesn't react properly. Stupid crowd! God, I wish we had them fake noises back. At least those fake noises knew how to react. 4 says Frenchie. 6 says Austin. 9.25 says Brandon. 6 says James Kenny. 6 says Sonny. Let him in says 6. C. Rayford says 6. Dave in real life says 3.5. Here come the score. Lots of 6s. Lots of 6s. 6.5 because no Finn Corbin yet, says Heather. Becky versus Beth. 9.25. Shauna says 5. Brian says 3.5. Pickle Rick says hello everyone. Bronson Reed was released. Leon Ruff was released. What's happening? Are people getting released? Whoa! Where's this news coming from? Where is this news coming from? They released why would they release Bronson Reed? Where is that news coming from? 2 minutes ago, yeah, Bronson Reed has been released. From Sean Ross Sapp. Why would they release Bronson Reed? Why would they release Bronson Reed? Yeah. How does that make any sense? I have to hide the message below. Why does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? Did someone say that Leon Ruff as well? Did Leon, there's more on his account. Mercedes Martinez has been released. This is happening during SmackDown. Bobby Fish. Leon Ruff. Tyler Rust. Okay, so Sean Rossap said ton of WWE releases. Bronson Reed has been released. Tyler Rust has been released. Leon Ruff has been released. Mercedes Martinez has been released. Bobby Fish has been released. What is going on in WWE? What is going on? You wouldn't release all these people for bringing back Edge. Bringing back like Brock. You wouldn't cut this talent, all of these people, to bring back one person or something. Let's put this here, 'cause people will talk about it. Let's make sure we get it. Oh my god, what's up with the text? The hell is up with it? What the hell is that? No, I mean, yeah, there's no more. I mean, Undisputed Era had finished anyway, but let's go to texts. Bobby Fish. I mean, what have they done this? I don't understand. All of the names are being sent within the company to talent by Johnny Ace. I don't know what that means. Leon Ruff. Tyler Rust. Don't get it. Oh my god, after all that, it's deleted it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I mean, why would you cut all these people? Is it just... I just don't get it. Is it a case that they've looked at it and thought, we've got no way of using these? But why would you cut Bronson Reed? Why would... I mean, Mercedes Martinez, in all fairness, Mercedes Martinez, she was asked to do something. She didn't want to do it. Right? Fine. Good for her, because it was retribution and it sucked. So, she was asked to do something and she didn't want to do it. And I did wonder if that was going to be like a black mark against her. Ari, I don't even know who that is. Ari Sterling. Jake Atlas. Jake Atlas. Ari Sterling. Tyler Rust. Bobby Fish. Who else we got? Mercedes Martinez. Leon Ruff. Have we got Tyler Rust? Tyler Rust. Have we got Bronson Reed? Right, let's have a look at this. I want to know if these are the names, because there'll be people that are going to obviously want to. There'll be new. I think there'll be more. To be honest, they're still coming through. These look like the ones that he's reported. I mean, I'm not watching this right now. Who's paying any attention to SmackDown right now? I think I've put Leon Ruff twice. The Giant Zangier has gone as well. Are they... I don't know what's happening. Giant Zangier, I mean, that is just insane. Guys, there's loads. There's loads. There's loads. Asher Hale. Right, Giant Zangier, Asher Hale, Zechariah Smith. I know I'm not saying much, but I'm trying to make sure I've got all these names and trying to keep up with it, because as I'm typing, there's more names coming through. I mean, it's literally as I'm typing this, I'm looking down. There's more names. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think we've got them all. I think we've got them all so far. Stephen Smith. There are some names here I don't know, to be honest. There's a couple of names. Stephen Smith doesn't ring a bell. I know a lot of people think I'm joking. I'm not. This is very real and very... I have not been hacked. Why Bronson? Well, hang on, let's go. I mean, why half of these names? Because they ain't going to have been on big contracts. I mean, why Bronson? I don't know. He's a big guy, and you'd think they could do something with him. So, I don't know why Bronson. Kona Reeves never really landed. So, Adam, the WWE is like family. You should stay here. It's a stable place. Asher Hale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12. Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, Jake Atlas, Ari Sterling, Kona Reeves, Leon Ruff, Steven Smith, Tyler Rust, Zachariah Smith, Asher Hale, Giant Zangia, and Mercedes Martinez. Who is Asher Hale? Who's Asher Hale? Let's have a look. Asher Hale, WWE. He didn't ring a bell. Performs under the name Asher Hale. Ari Sterling. Who's Ari Sterling? Let's have a look. Ari Sterling. It's few from 205. Giant Zangia. Dilsha Shanky and Giant Zangia. I mean, isn't Giant Zangia like the one that's hanging around Jinder? I mean, they've let go a 7'2" Indian. I mean, you'd think they'd want to be making moves in India again. Do you think this has got something to do? We said the other day, do you think there'll be more releases? Because do you think that they are looking at the fact that they might have to go back to a Thunderdome? I thought Kona Reeves was already gone, says Jim. Do they put names in the chat unless it's the truth? Do not put names in the chat unless it's the truth. Yeah, I mean, this is the list of names that we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. Bronson, I don't know why it's all lowercase. I was just having to type it as I was typing it. Going Go said, check Bronson Reed's Twitter. Okay. Let's have a look. Bronson Reed's Twitter. Just got released by WWE. This monster is back on the loose. You don't know what you've just done. At AEW, at Impact, at New Japan, at Ring of Honor. Just got released by WWE. What's going on? Yeah, I mean, that's actually a good point. I mean, Tyler Rust is in Diamond Mine, and they've only just debuted. So Tyler Rust is out of Diamond Mine. I really like Leon Ruff. Giant Zangier is a 7-foot Indian guy that I think was one of them that was hanging around with Jinder. I think he was one of those. Tyler Rust was in Diamond Mine. Asher, Hale, Ari Sterling, I don't think they had got going. Same with Zachariah Smith and Steven Smith. I don't think they'd got going. They're not names that ring bells. Kona Reeves been around for a long time and just it hasn't quite worked out for him. Bronson Reed, I mean, that's probably the biggest name. I really don't get why you would let go of Bronson Reed. It's just not. When's it? It's just. I don't get it. I just don't understand. I don't get why they're doing it. I mean, certainly because they keep announcing really good results on the conference call stuff. Like, the numbers seem to be decent. There's no sign of panic in the numbers, but I mean, I understand they're doing it to protect the business and protect the numbers, and they clearly, are reducing the budget. Do you think they've come to accept that wrestling's just not coming back? Do you think this is a reflection of the fact that they are accepting that the wrestling, we're not getting another Attitude Era anytime soon? Do you think there's just nothing in the numbers to suggest that the Attitude Era is coming? So they're, cutting back. I don't know. Adam Cole needs to run far away. This messes up my figure collection. Now catering is overfull. They just released 12 wrestlers that could have had great careers. The breakup of Undisputed Era absolutely killed Bobby Fish. He is such a talented wrestler, and to this point, I'm just mad at WWE. I don't understand why WWE released some of these stars. No, mate, no one does. No one does. RIP WWE 2K22 as well. I don't know. Would loads of these have featured? I think some would have, wouldn't they? Bronson and Reed, you'd think would. I just don't know. I don't get it. That's why they banned phones at SmackDown. Vince didn't want the crowd knowing. Leon Ruff's wife is the ref in NXT, so she might be next. Why are they releasing people during SmackDown? Well, in all fair... Well... I was just about to say, in all fairness, they haven't announced it. WWE haven't announced it. So it's not like they've announced it during SmackDown. But they've made the calls during SmackDown. And Fightful has obviously found out. I mean, they've got connections and whatnot, so... I don't get it. I don't understand why it's just a little bit here, a little bit there. Now we're releasing Bray. Now we're going to release these people. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, Bronson Reed. SmackDown is dead today. It's 5 out of 10, says Ryan. It's insane, says James Chadwick. AEW getting stronger and stronger by the minute. This is depressing. It's hard to watch SmackDown. I turned into Olympic women's golf. Oh my God. It's not that bad, is it, Ryan? I've turned SmackDown. I can't watch it. I'm going to watch women's golf. I'm watching Olympic golf. That's a joke. What are those names for? It's Veer and Shanky who are with Jinder, not the giant Zangier. Didn't they rename Giant Zangier, though? Shanky. Singer name of Dilsha Shanky. Is Shanky different to the Giant Zangier then? Giant Zangier. Let's have a look. See, I search for him. It brings up pictures of Shanky, but right. So he is different. There was I wonder why though. I wonder why him. Is it just a case they got nothing for him? Perhaps he just wasn't getting it. I don't know. I don't know what made them choose Shanky instead of Giant Zangier. Or maybe it's just a case that they only want one. They only need one giant. You know, considering Shanky's 7'2", he doesn't make an impact. Do you know what I mean? When he comes out, I don't feel like, whoa, look at this guy. This is all because Vince locked everyone up when AEW first came about. Having that many superstars was never going to be sustainable. Heather said, I can't pay attention to SmackDown right now. All this is rubbish. I hope Cole is paying attention. Days chat, we need to take over WWE ASAP. We need to take over WWE. Come on, guys, let's go. Let's take over WWE. They're paying Goldberg and John Cena tons of money for one pay-per-view. I'm starting to find it hard to believe all these releases happening in the past few weeks are just for budget cuts. Trini said, just want to point out, people say that they made record profits, but they released record projected profits. They're still waiting to earn 60 million of that in KSA. Do the releases have anything to do with Adam Cole? No. I don't believe so. Days, did you hear that the Eiffel Tower has been booked by PSG and Neymar is written on it with glowing lights? I did not hear that. Tyler Rust had a story with Diamond Mine. He did. The Occupy thing worked for Brian. Not Bobby and Bronson. Bronson, yeah. Why does NXT keep having tryouts and signing people if they're just going to release people? That's a good point, Shauna. That's a good point. Everyone Triple H takes a picture of him pointing a finger at gets released. Wendy said, this is BS because they're people in NXT and 205 Live that work hard and they get jobbed and let go by WWE. There isn't going to be a 2K22 roster if this keeps happening. It's very shocking. It is very, very shocking. Yeah. I don't really have any words, to be honest. I mean, what do you say? I just don't get why it's happening. If you, they will be told budget cuts. They'll be told budget cuts, but when does it stop? Why do they not release everyone in one go? How many wrestlers have been released this year? It must be. Are we at 100 now? I mean, we have lost a lot. WWE have cut a lot. Vape Ross Vape said, Nick Khan, Corp Weasel, Tony Khan, wrestling fan. I don't know. I mean, the thing with Nick Khan is if he's walked in and the numbers are just horrific, if he's walked in and there's like double the amount of wrestlers they need, like you've got double the wrestlers that you actually need, you're spending God knows how much on wages than you should be. Like, I don't know. I could understand them getting the house in order, but I don't get why it's like, if you was in WWE, like, Zelina got released and then got brought back. Do you know what I mean? There's rumors they want to do the same with Braun. It just doesn't make sense. Apparently they tried to bring back Aleister Black as well. They realised they made a mistake there. So it just seems all quite unorganised and like, it seems like it's just going insane behind the scenes, to be honest. Doesn't seem well thought through and strategic, and because it's like they just if you was going to do it, you'd do it in one go, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you sit down with the book and go, we need to save 30 million. How are we going to save 30 million? Right, these are the names we're cutting. Let's get it out. It's going to be bad PR, but let's just ride it. Why would a company want to keep putting bad PR on itself? Like time after time after time after time. Why would a company want to do that? Because this is horrible PR. Horrible PR. No one should feel safe besides Edge, Roman, Seth, and the 4 horsewomen. Days, I've got a prediction. Finn joins the Bloodline and wins the IC title. Finn versus Corbin. When are we getting a Roman Cena promo? It must be after this match. I'm thinking they're streamlining the company to maneuver for a sale. We've had a heck of a lot of releases in the past year. Talent and Backstage. Yeah. Yeah. Most of these were jobbers except Reed, Fish, and Martinez, says Burn It Down. I mean, a lot of these aren't main roster names, are they? But you've got like Tyler Rust, who was in Diamond Mine, and they'd just been given a push. Jake Atlas was, used every now and again. Giant Zangier, we never saw. Asher Hale, we didn't really see. Ari Sterling, we didn't really see. Zechariah Smith, we didn't really see. Steven Smith, we didn't really see. Kona Reeves, been around for ages and didn't really use. So there's definitely some names here that you could go, okay, I get why they're releasing some of these. I get why they'd want them off the books. But it still doesn't explain as to why they haven't done it before now. I mean, they could have done this at the same time as when they released Bray. I mean, they had the bad, awful press when they released Bray. Why they could have done all this then? Like, well, it's just like every week now. Like, who they're going to release next week? You don't quite know when it's done, when it's over. I mean, if you worked in WWE right now, you'd just be... You wouldn't know what to think, would you? You wouldn't know if you'd have a job in a week's time, 2 weeks' time. You just wouldn't know. I think if you are in WWE, you definitely don't want to be giving them an easy reason to cut you right now. Let's put it that way. I should imagine everyone's very well behaved backstage. Because if I was in WWE, I've definitely got the message they're looking to cut people. They're looking to part ways. I don't necessarily know why, but they're looking for reasons to part ways, so you wouldn't want to give them any reason. I think Nick Khan is secretly helping his distant cousin, Sony Khan. AEW can't sign everyone. No, I don't even know if there's anyone there they would take, to be honest. I mean, there's a chance they would take Mercedes Martinez. I think she would be a good pickup out of this group. Bronson Reed, maybe. Bobby Fish, maybe, but Leon Ruff, maybe, but I don't know. I don't really see, like, I think the number one pickup there is Mercedes Martinez. Vince is like, you get a release, 100 of them. I'd have to have a look, but I reckon we must be around that number. There was loads around. Was it just after WrestleMania when we lost like the Iconics and everyone? So, I mean, if you're taking all of those and then Braun and Bray, and I mean, there's 12 here. NXT talents typically earn between 50 and 150,000. That is nothing. They've saved less than $1 million, says Vape Ross Vape. I can see Bobby going back to Ring of Honor. Triple H must be fuming, says Mark. Days, at what point in your life did it feel like wrestling was uncool? What point in my life did it feel like wrestling was uncool? Quite early, I would say. I would say when I went to secondary school. So, when I went to secondary school, when I was about 13, 14, at that point, when I was at secondary school and everyone's talking about football. I mean, I've said before, I got into Man United because I had to, because everyone was talking about football. I think then, you know, you look around and there's not many wrestling fans. And there's a few, and you'll have conversations with them, but by and large, you know, a lot of people, you're not really talking to them about it. In all fairness, like, you know, Attitude Era comes along and that makes it cooler. So you go through a period of Attitude Era where it is actually quite cool. And it's not, if you say you're into it, it's not bad at all. There's people that are into it. But yeah, I would say before the Attitude Era, when I was at secondary school, Yeah, it wasn't the in thing. I mean, I don't know now. I mean, if you're a kid now, I'd imagine if you're into wrestling and you're in secondary school, I'd imagine it's uncool. If you're in primary school, if you're in like your first school, elementary school, then I'd imagine it's all right. But I reckon if you're in secondary school, I can't imagine it's what the cool kids are watching. Vince just went to the bathroom before flushing. He yelled, "You're fired." Good business. WWE Attitude is back. Bronson Reed Impact feud with Big Cass. Corbin hasn't got a theme song. Well, he's got a microphone. Corbin said he wants to apologise. Strikes coming in. Balor says apology not accepted and starts firing in shoulders to the midsection. Wrestling is like a swear word at my work or treated as a kid's show. Football season's about to start. Well, there's always that. Very confused. Corbin finally been home, got pizza, and Blunt's though says, "Where's F kids? We want attitude era," says Dominic 316. You look bored. Me? How can you watch the show? How can anyone pay any attention? All something my mind is going is, like, what do they do now in NXT? Like, what do they do now with Diamond Mine? Do they just carry on with the two of them? And I'm trying to think, like, how many was in there? I think there was 3 with Malcolm Bivin, and then it's like, do you bring someone else into Diamond Mine? Or, I mean, what a weird release. What a weird release. They didn't release the other guy, the Japanese guy. They obviously didn't release Roderick Strong. I mean, but they did release Bobby Fish. I mean, how do you even concentrate on this? And then I'm trying to think, like, what was Mercedes Martinez up to? Does that throw anything out? Bronson Reed, where was he? I mean, he just dropped the North American title because we thought he was going to the main roster. I mean, has it been a case that Vince has met with him and gone, no, I don't want him? Or I wonder who's made the cuts. As Vince said to Triple H, I need you to save $1 million. I need $1 million off the budget now. How many times does that keep happening? How long was this planned for? How did they pick these names? What's going on? I don't know. I don't know how. Imagine WWE just releases NXT. Thank God it ended early. They're being ageist with Mercedes as far as I'm concerned. Three years ago, I would have smiled and accepted it. But that Finn is dead. Finn Balor said, I want to face Roman. Here's Roman. So, Balor said, I want to face Roman. Name the place, name the time. If I have to go through John Cena to get there, then so be it. Maybe this is a prelude to the cancellation of the NXT show and the end of NXT. Mercedes' last match was when she was KO'd by Xia Li, says Andros Hunter. Hideous graphic, says Houston. Yeah, we heard about the NXT releases, but yeah. Mercedes Martinez was in a battle royal at the first All Out, so it's definitely possible. She's very credible as well. I mean, she's a great in-ring talent. She's got, like, tons, years and years and years of experience on the indie scene. She really is someone that is credible, very, very good in the ring, can help develop younger talent. She maybe just got to WWE at the wrong time. But certainly I think she would still be with the company if she stayed in Retribution. I think the fact she left Retribution, I think she got given a second chance by Triple H, who liked her. And I don't know what's gone wrong now. I don't know if she's picked up an injury and it's like, we just can't carry on with it. But, I mean, if you think that Mia Yim is, still not on TV, but is still under contract, I'd have to think that Mercedes Martinez would be if she had stayed with Retribution. But I'm shocked they chose to release Bronson. Yeah, same. Ari and Asher were signed just 6 weeks ago, says MT Pounds. PW Insider reports lots of talk internally of major changes to the NXT brand, including a new logo, new lighting, and a focus on younger talents, and a different format to the TV show. Well, in all fairness, I don't know what they're going to do. Because what are they going to do? What are they doing? I mean, they got 500,000 ratings-wise. Awful. Atrocious. And that's with Samoa Joe and Carrion and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Like, the show isn't fresh. They haven't been, like, building the new big stars that they should have been. Like, yeah, they've done all right with, like, Cameron Grimes, but he's not someone that's going to move the dial. Carrion, I think they've done a decent job with, but obviously, it's not quite working out, is it? Because the rating is awful. So they're probably looking at where the ratings are and maybe going in a different direction. And if they are investing in younger talent, that's cool, but they have just cut some. I mean, I don't know the age of some of these people. Don't know how old Asher Hale is or Ari Sterling, but yeah, they're weird people to release because they haven't really been on TV. Like, Leon Ruff is young. Leon Ruff isn't old. So, I don't get it. I think there are going to be changes to NXT. But in all fairness, I think NXT could do with some changes. I think the show's fine, but I think it is being left in the dust by AEW. You used two openly LGBT wrestlers in Mercedes and Jake Atlas for Pride Month in June and then fire them 6 weeks later. I thought NXT was getting 700,000. It's dropped. It was when it first was on a Tuesday, and then it's just dropped. And this week it was 550,000. Days, will Finn get involved at SummerSlam and cost Cena the title? Yes or no? I have no idea. I mean, we're about to find out where this is heading. Roman has got a Roman tracksuit. I'm sure that's available at WWE Shop right now. Making the champ lose on Raw to bury the championship and now releasing stars. Leon Ruff is 24. Yeah, I knew he was young. I mean, 24, and he's so talented. I mean, perhaps he's too small. Perhaps it comes down to he's too small. We got Roman and Finn. Let's see what this is. We've got 8 minutes left. I can understand why you're upset. Bronson Reed got lucky with timing. Had he been called up, his non-compete would be 90 instead of 30. That's a good point. Roman said, I tried to give you an opportunity. Keep the head of the table's name out of your mouth. And Balor smiles. Microphone his phone at Finn. He came out just to say that. Balor pushes Roman out of the ring. Is there Cena chants? I'm not sure what they're chanting. You got Roman, we got Balor. Finn helped Roman. Yeah, he helped him out of the ring. He did him a favour. What do you think? The second part makes no sense to me. Austin's just sent me some new logo, new lighting, new format. Also, the idea shows to be more focused on younger talent. The house cleaning tonight appears to be part of working towards direction for better or worse. Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. The house cleaning tonight. So they've cleaned the house to work towards the direction of focusing on younger talent, like 24-year-old Leon Ruff. New lighting, new logo. I mean, they only just changed the logo, and they only just changed the venue. And how is younger talent going to draw viewers? Like, they're doing a breakout tournament now, and no one cares. So how is younger talent going to draw in more viewers for USA? You're getting 500,000 right now with Samoa Joe. And people love Samoa Joe. So how is changing the logo, changing the lighting, and focusing on younger talent going to draw in more viewers? Balor has dealt with the Usos. Roman makes his way down. Kicks coming in by Finn. Knee to the midsection. He's got Balor against the ropes. Sling blade. Maybe they'll be put on Peacock again. Maybe. Maybe they've lost the TV deal with USA. Perhaps USA have said 550,000 in enough. I don't know how long that contract runs for. I don't know. I mean, Vince will be operating several steps ahead. I mean, you know, it could be that that contract is getting lost and so he's having to do the stuff now, but yeah. Finn and Austin Art booking. Love it. WWE Attitude Era back. Guillotine applied and Balor is tapping. Will NXT UK be safe? Well, in all fairness, they haven't touched it. Have they? I thought there'd be releases, but they haven't touched it. NXT UK has got a TV deal as well in the UK, so I don't think you can just axe it. I don't know how to rate this show. I thought this show was pretty poor, to be honest, as we got to the halfway point, and then the second half, I just haven't paid attention. I don't know how to rate that show. I mean, how do you release news of 12 superstars being released? And is Adam Cole a name that should stick in a show getting only 500,000 viewers? Is Adam Cole a name that should stick in a show that gets only 500,000 viewers? The counter argument would be that Adam Cole isn't drawing anyone. Is it? I mean, it's not a brilliant reflection on Adam Cole that he's in a show that's only getting 500,000 viewers. 3.75 from Jaden, 4.75 from Zahair, 4 from Lazy, 7 says David Robert Wood, 6 says Austin. BT Sport has a stake in NXT UK. Sean Rossap said those were all the planned releases. Do you think there'll be some unplanned releases? Don't know. I mean, do I think there'll be more releases? Yes, because this thing just doesn't seem to be stopping. It's just new names all the time. 4, 6, 6. Brian said, I can't rate the show because the releases, the news took away. Yeah, I feel the same, to be honest. I couldn't rate the show. I mean, I don't even know who won out of Bianca and Zelina. I have no idea. So, yeah, I can't really rate it. I mean, all I know was that the show was not grabbing me. Decent open. Edge segment was fine, but I said earlier, this is like a good show. It's not a great show. I don't even know if tonight was a good show. I don't know. They're in the mud, man. They're in the mud. Head over to AEW Dark. New show on in a minute. Heading over to AEW Dark. Days, because of what happened with Roman and Finn, are we going to get Finn Roman next week or Cena versus Roman versus Finn at SummerSlam? I don't know. You know as much as me, but I don't know. I mean, he's clearly a part of it. I mean, I thought we were getting Finn versus Corbin at SummerSlam. They've done it tonight. So he's still a part of this. He's still a part of it. I mean, I don't think fans are going to want Finn to be in that match. I don't think fans are going to want him to be... I don't think fans are going to want a triple threat. But then they did a triple threat at WrestleMania by putting Daniel in. They could do a triple threat at SummerSlam as well. So, could put him in. It could be Finn versus Cena. If Finn wins, he gets added to a triple threat. It could be that. This show sucked. Harley said, Days, welcome to the build of Roman versus Cena, where the main event segment is Roman and the Usos destroy Balor. Well, was Cena there tonight? Did Cena come out? I don't think he was at this one, was he? So perhaps they've included Finn because there'll be a few weeks where Cena's not around or something. Don't know. Did you miss the Fiend's return? I missed the Fiend's return. Sean Rossap said no more releases tonight. Good. Timothy said, I hate the news. This is terrible. Today is Jake Atlas's 5th year wrestling anniversary. Happy anniversary! Tribal endless push. So many triple threats, they just don't work. The releases of the superstars have really killed tonight's SmackDown, to be honest. I completely agree. Dom15 says 7.5. Rangers Lab says 7. NXT was good because Mercedes Martinez, but now it's terrible, says Timothy. Is Randy Orton returning soon? I would think so, because he was in a dark match the other day. Always liked Bobby Fish, says Cool K Gaming. Board Junkie said, do you think these layoffs are due to the contractor problems WWE have in the US, as the NXT UK roster have not been touched? Due to the contractor problems. What are those? What are the contractor problems? I haven't heard about it. It's been like doing full-on Olympics. So what are the contractor problems? NXT died with the WWE network. I think NXT lost a lot when it went to USA. I really do. I think when NXT was an hour, NXT at an hour was brilliant. You didn't see everyone every week. Like, you see a lot of the big names every week now. You didn't when it was just the hour. It was like, this week we've got this, this, and this, and you'd be like, okay, this week looks good. I'm down for that. Shame we haven't got such and such, but maybe they'll be on next week. And it meant that when they were on, it felt special. Now you tend to get everyone every week. All the big hitters anyway. But when it was an hour, you didn't. And you went weeks without seeing the NXT champion when it was just an hour. And, you know, your first match might be something to get the crowd going. Like you might get a tag match or something. You'd get a few promos. There'd be a young talent that would be in there as well. You'd get about 4 matches or whatever, 3-4 matches. You'd always get a decent main event. And the shows just felt really solid. They felt really, really good. As soon as they went to 2 hours, doesn't work. Not as well. I mean, you can get good shows, but the magic just, it's not the same. It's not the same as when it was an hour. And I think then, obviously, the pandemic, they left Full Sail. Leaving Full Sail isn't the worst. But it feels, even now, it feels like the crowd is smaller than when they were at Full Sail. Like, the Performance Centre just doesn't feel... It's all right, but there's bits about the Performance Centre that I'm not a fan of. So I don't mind them doing a bit of a refresh. I don't mind that. I don't mind a new logo. I don't mind better lighting. I don't mind whatever. I don't get the focus on younger talent, and I don't get how that's going to get views. I don't get this. I don't understand. A USA network not pulling their hair out going, what? I'm sorry, you're doing what? Focusing on younger talent. That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I mean, some of the names here I understand. Some of the names I don't. And Bronson Reed is a big surprise. Mercedes Martinez, weird. Tyler Rust in Diamond Mine, I mean, that's strange. Leon Ruff, they've spent loads of time with pushing him. And now he's gone. It's just weird. Yeah, some of these names are weird. Cena wasn't tonight, for everyone that was wondering. Would make it a third brand and put main roster stars on it. I hate when they broke up Undisputed Era because everyone in the group suffered. It was hard to get into SmackDown after hearing the news, says Ryan. Austin said Bronson Reed is a really big surprise. Brian said breaking up the Undisputed Era was a huge mistake. Did Josiah Williams get fired? He wasn't announced in that list today. I don't know if he was fired the other day. Days, are you going to put the release stars on the Olympic stream? I think a lot of people will still be talking about it then. No, I mean, we will get people going, did you hear the news? But, nah, I'm not gonna, I mean, I feel like we've covered it. At some point, we've got to draw a line under it and move on. And I think with the Olympic stream, we'll just focus on the Olympics. If people want to talk about it and say, did you hear about... And we'll get that, of course we will. But yeah, as soon as we're done with this, I think we'll draw a line under it. I'm really going to miss Leon Ruff. He was one of my favourites. Maybe WWE are preparing to offer Punk or AJ Lee something. I think the contract's probably signed, to be honest, with AEW. Bobby Fish is a surprise. Why even have it happen during a show? Josiah was released about 2 months ago. Zahir, shout out to you. For all we know, someone at USA Network might be on the phone with Vince right now asking him what the bleep he thinks he's doing. Sean Rossap just tweeted out about Cena being at SmackDown but wasn't used. That's weird, isn't it? Are you going to sleep? I will sleep. I mean, I am around for another 9 hours or something. I mean, we're probably not going to stick around as late tonight because I am very, very focused on UFC. So I'm very, very focused on UFC. So I need to make sure that I'm ready for that. And also, we're going to start earlier. We will start our UFC stream at 11, so UK time, which is like 6 Eastern. Josiah was released months ago. WWE main roster where dreams die. Adam Cole said it was his idea to split up Undisputed Era, says Rated R Wrestling. Did you see the new WWE Elite action figures? Not if they were shown today. Did you find those packs? Nope. I didn't even look for them. He knows his work and you know it. He knows his work and you know it. There's what's the card tomorrow? It's Garn against Lewis and Tisha Torres against Alicia Fox. Tisha Torres against Angela Hill. I don't know why I got her mixed up with Alicia Fox. We've got that. Why can I not remember the co-main event off the top of my head? I don't know, dude. Search for it. It's on the internet. UFC 265, I think it is. But the main event is Garn against Lewis. Are you doing Charity Shield? No. We've got too much on tomorrow. Don't know if anyone has said already, but PW Insider is reporting that there have been talks internally of NXT undergoing a redesign. Yeah, it was mentioned just, yeah. More money for AEW to spend. Song Yudong is on this week. Yes, it is on. Right, we're going to wrap up there. We're going to wrap up there. Shock him. Really shock him. Did not expect that to happen whilst we were streaming tonight. Was kind of hoping it wouldn't happen again at all. But we do need to go. We've got to set up the stream for the basketball for the Olympics. And the US basketball starts in 20 minutes. So we definitely need to go and sort that. So big shout out to everyone that's joined us. We are back tomorrow for UFC. We do have Olympics in about 10 minutes. We do have Olympics after UFC. That will be it for the Olympics then. There's 2 days left, including tonight. So, yeah, we are at the end of that. And then I will probably sleep all day on Sunday. And then we're right back at it for Monday Night Raw. So if you're around, I'll see you around. And have a great evening wherever you are. Bye for now.